You know what surprised me the most about retirement? It wasn't the free time, it wasn't the easy mornings, and it definitely wasn't the lack of alarm clocks. What surprised me was realizing how absent I had been for most of my life, even when I was physically there. And retirement is what finally forced me to face that. For most of my adult life, I did what everybody else does. I showed up, I provided, I worked hard, but mentally and emotionally, sometimes I wasn't completely there. Now keep in mind, I did grow up basically in the military. I went into the military when I was 18, and so my thinking was much more guarded. My family was not real close growing up, and so I didn't have the background or the education to understand how to be present. Yes, I was there. I took part in, raising children. I worked hard, but I was never really completely there. I wasn't completely present. And because of my military background, and I think there's a lot of other people that may feel this also. It could be any type of career choice that you make. Mine just put me in a position where that's basically my formative years, the years I grew up in. I was basically very guarded, not really open with my feelings or emotions, and because I had to leave a lot, I spent a lot of time overseas, and so I got used to kind of being present, but always concentrating on, say, the mission. In the military we have what we call the mission, and of course that always comes first. And of course, because that was my life, all the stresses of work, they would follow me home. And so of course, deadlines had to be met. I was always thinking about the next event that we were going through. And so that had me thinking elsewhere and not completely present where I was at. Now, I know it seems strange that I'm realizing this now at 61 years old, but better late than never. Now, I wasn't cold. I wasn't completely uncaring. I was just distracted. And I told myself the same lie that probably a lot of people tell themselves. I'll have time. I've got plenty of time. I'll be present and I'll be there once this mission is over with, once my job is over with. Well, one thing led to another. I retired from the military, became a trainer for, military pilots. And so that life basically continued. And that time never came. But then retirement came and changed something fundamental in me. There were no meetings to blame, no emails waiting, the mission was no longer there. And when all that noise went away, something uncomfortable showed up. And that was me. I started to notice moments that I used to rush through, conversations I used to half listen to, emotions I would sidestep instead of meeting head on. Retirement, it didn't magically make me, more engaged all of a sudden, but it revealed to me that oftentimes throughout my life, I had not been engaged. I had not been present. Now, one of the biggest realizations was this. For most of my life, I had been a bystander in my own life, in my family, and those that I loved. I was around, I was participating, but I wasn't fully in it. And something I learned just recently is that being present, it's not just being there. Being present is listening. Not listening to respond, but listening to understand. Being able to sit comfortably with emotions, instead of ignoring them. And showing interest without another agenda. These were all very hard lessons for me to learn. And, of course, there's regret that I hadn't learned these younger or earlier, but no better time than the present. So basically, in retirement, I had to relearn how to listen. And it's kind of funny because, all my time, as I said before, all my time in the military and at one point I worked in a leadership school, and we used to tell our students all the time, you listen to understand, you don't listen to respond. So you first must understand, say, the conversation or the problem in order for you to come up with ways or possible avenues to rectify that problem. But it never dawned on me that that would apply to my own personal relationships until now. And something I had to learn was patience. That's something I realized I did not have much of until I really needed it. Now, patience in retirement looks different. It's not about being able to wait in line or slowing down your pace. It's really more of an emotional patience. It's letting conversations unfold on their own. It's letting people be who they are without judgment. It's letting relationships grow without controlling the outcome. It's putting the phone down. It's staying in the room when things get awkward. It's choosing connection over comfort. And I won't pretend that this all came naturally. It was quite the task. And it doesn't happen overnight. And being present doesn't mean being perfect. It means showing up even when you're tired, being engaged even when it's inconvenient, and choosing people over distractions. Retirement gave me time, but presence required intention. And the biggest lesson I learned, the moments that matter, they're not loud or dramatic. They're quiet, ordinary, and easy to miss if you're not paying attention. If you're approaching retirement or already there, I'll leave you with this. Time alone won't help you be more present, but it will give you the opportunity to choose being present every single day. And I've learned that being an active participant in the lives of those you love, that's the most important task of all. If this resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. And if you're learning how to slow down and show up too, hey, just know you're not alone. Thanks for being here. And until next time, see ya.